Right, let's see if this works. Last time my phone overheated and I didn't get to record everything. So, in the department of biting off more than I could chew, this year's garden is bigger than I had planned. What you're looking at right now are 2 elderberries and some annual bedding plants that will fill in for this summer, and next year hopefully the elderberries will be significantly larger, and then they won't need the bedding plants, or I may find something that's shade happy. The crepe myrtles are my responsibility. They need a trim. I found that out when I was chit-chatting with the neighbor the other day. But over here is my lovely Mexican plum tree that I got, and it's got some annual bedding plants around it because this bed was not supposed to be this wide. When we got the mountain of mulch from the tree people down the road, and that is much, much diminished from what it was, Johan kind of went a little crazy with the garden planting. Some more annuals. A little golden currant, which in theory will have fruit. It had pretty flowers this spring. The pecan tree I just kind of glossed by there is going to have to go because unfortunately it is going to be growing up into the power line. And we don't want that. The power company doesn't want that. So this fall it will come down and be replaced with a fruit tree. What? I haven't decided yet. Little purple coneflower there. One of the blueberries, which has blueberries, but they keep drying out, and you can see these have dried out and they're going to fall off. These are still going. I haven't been watering it regularly. I probably will have to. Pathway, because the mailbox is there and people, when they come to visit us, park on the edge of the driveway or the edge of the street and walk over. And we have some tender hibiscus, which may or may not come back from the root this coming year. We will see. And one of my wildflowers there, that lovely pink salvia. The other plum tree, that's a little baby methley. It's a semi-dwarf, so it won't get too tall and interfere with the things. Now that's a hardy hibiscus. I don't expect it to bloom for a while yet, but it will. And a little white salvia. Oh, I don't know if you could see the gray hair streak that just landed on that coneflower leaf there. A little butterfly. But the butterflies are already coming. This is why I started this garden. The little shrub is a dwarf Japan holly, which makes a good tea. And then wine cup, blackfoot daisies. The little yellow flowers are called Bidens, and they're an annual, but they should reseed themselves. That's why I've given them some space. But as you can see, the plan is to slowly eliminate the grass area here that has to be mowed. And I say grass loosely because there's not a lot of grass. Right now it's nutsedge and stork's bill. So this has a little penstemon and the sage that's been doing so beautifully, and a coreopsis, Mexican petunia, yalong, the garden dragon. I have pots of mints and annuals there, and my walkway that needs cleaning up, and I planted annuals there and then they didn't get mulched in time, so they are a mess. But that's the point of this video, is to show you. Right, let's see if this works. So this is what Johan built for me when he discovered he could get 2x12s really cheaply at work. I have peppers and herbs and flowers, and in between I've got blueberries, and in this tall bed it's all herbs: lavender, rosemary, thyme, sage, tarragon, society garlic, which I still don't know what that is. Uh, more lavender and thyme, marjoram, the oregano is elsewhere, basil, and a cucumber that will be going up that pole, and another blueberry. And then in the final bed, I got probably over ambitious with these, but I put scallions in with the strawberries. And the strawberries are blooming, so we'll see. Maybe I'll actually get strawberries. On the backyard, we'll get in there in a minute. You can see it's still jungle in places. I have a lot of work to do. Johan wants to build a rose garden, and that's what this is supposed to become. He put down weed cloth and a mat. I've got the second fig here, with the first fig at the corner of the house, and it needs mulched. So you might not be able to pick it out very easily from the weeds, but there's the Little Miss Figgy. And then the other fig is Agre de Negre, and that's a gift from my friend Julie. So I'm going to try and move slow. I don't have a gimbal. I'm not going to do much in the way of this sort of video because, well, I don't want to make you all seasick. So as we come around the corner here, this bed behind the house needs to get cleared out. So I haven't done anything with it. It's going to get filled with this gravel over a double layer of weed cloth. But I do have my citrus here. So I've got a Meyer lemon, or no, sorry, that's the key lime. And this little guy is a Meyer lemon. And it all needs cleaning badly. You see where I had stuff that was needing to be planted and potted. The backyard is more than a little jungly because the boy started to mow and got the lawnmower clogged up. But my garden is back here for veggies. So lots of potatoes, and in this half barrel some very unhealthy looking squash. They got planted in just straight compost, and I don't think it's agreeing with them. We'll see what happens with them. I do, however, have a little bitty blackberry going on there. And there are 3 blackberries, but one of them got nipped off, so it's tiny still. And the shade tree here is a pecan, and it's been pollarded so that it wouldn't drop major limbs on the house. But I have a very sprawling tomato, eggplant, pepper, summer squash. The peas are going to be coming out after this video. They're done bearing. It's too warm now. And I'll move the trellis, that's a bit of trimmed off cattle panel, over to the tomatoes. You can see my very tall pepper. That pepper overwintered. That's why it's so tall and gangly. And then the last of the fabric beds has peppers and eggplant and a tomato. Johan gave me a camellia this spring, and I put it in the shade here. Not sure it'll be happiest here, but I did just trim a bunch of junk tree out of that poor quince. It needs more work. And I have a little red bud here, which is lovely in the spring. And what I'm standing under, and I'm kind of using it as a trellis for the plants, is an old, let me see, I've got the trellises tied to it. That's an old clothesline. So the car is being parked under this shelter. It's not supposed to be. This is going to become an outside living area and cooking area. But over here in this corner, above and beyond that persimmon I need to move, I have the grape, which is going mad. And I had stuck a squash in the ground just at random, see what would happen, and it is a happy camper. We will see what happens. I also stuck, and probably too close to the grape, that is a horseradish hiding under there, and it's coming along. It was a teeny tiny piece of root, so I don't know how well that one's going to do. Might be a while. let's see here. Hiding down here, there should be, yep, getting a squash. And hiding over here, there are some grapes. Very many, like 5 or 6. So the rest of this bed is the Peggy Martin climbing roses, which are just starting to bloom. I didn't expect them to bloom at all this year, but they have mad buds, so they will bloom. And then this peach is going to be trained espalier on that wall to hopefully keep it from being hit too hard by hard frosts. That is a persimmon, but it is entwined in the chain link fence, so it will be going away. I am going to keep that persimmon. These are American persimmons. We have a female, and I don't know if these are by seed or by rhizome, because the female is on the other side of the shed, and as you can see, I have lots of baby persimmons. And then I put a passion flower vine here because I would like for it to take over this entire section of chain link fence and give us a little barrier between the backyard and the alleyway. So that section is mostly sunny with some shade. This section is very shady, and that structure there is the old hot tub. And once we make a decision about whether we're going to pull the tub out or not, if we pull the tub out, and I'm kind of leaning towards that because it looks like it'll be as much to refurbish it as it will be to repair it or replace it, and I don't know. But that, if we pull it out, that'll get turned into a greenhouse, shade house, so I can overwinter the citrus and the hibiscus that Johan gave to me. And so it's a mess. I know it's a mess. My goal is to use this kind of video for accountability and get this to be looking better in the next year or so. The fabric beds are doing fine. This is the second year for that one. It didn't get filled properly, so it's collapsed a little. But the ones that got filled all the way are doing fine. The soil that got put in them made a big difference. That's Texas topsoil, and you can see that the peas did not do terribly well in it. So I will have to supplement that with something. I've got to figure out what. At any rate, they will be replaced in the long run with probably the really nice raised beds. And all of this will get chopped back to a dull roar as far as lawn goes. Long run, I want to get rid of all of the grass, or the vast majority of it, because I don't like to mow and Sanford isn't up to it. It's going to be a project, a long, long project, but that's okay. I have years, I have time. I don't have to rush into this, except for the fact that I have a child that insisted that I needed more, and I'm having to sit on him to keep him from putting in more. Oh look, cucumber. Soon, cucumbers, soon. Anyway, I will hopefully figure out how to keep the camera from overheating and be able to post more videos somewhat regularly. Bye.